just like we do. We eat carbs, we put on fats. Hey y'all, Joe with Dusty Pines. So we're back here at the food plot. It's been about a week. We mowed the food plot and we sprayed it a week before that, and so everything's pretty much dead. They got a little bit of native grasses and stuff coming up. I'll probably spray again before I plant the food plot, but it's looking good, looking like how I want it. Basically nothing growing, a bunch of thatch on the ground. But now we're trying to get a dove hunt out of the deal. I got a little Mojo spinner and a couple of foam dove decoys out here. Hopefully we'll get some birds flying through here. There's a creek back here, so maybe they'll fly this area and see these dove decoys and come in. There is no, I stopped feeding that months ago. I let it run out, and I hadn't put anything because I did want to hunt this. So there's no feed in that feeder. So it's fair chase. I'm all legal, and yeah, we'll see what happens. Got the girls out here with me today, and we're gonna try to get some dove on the ground. All right, so dove hunt was a fail. Food plot was a fail. We did have a storm blow through last night, dumped a bunch of much needed rain. I would rather have all the rain than some dove out here, because we've had a lot of fires out here in East Texas, and so we needed the rain. But I think the rain pushed out all the doves that were here. We did have like one fly over. Paisley and I were walking back here, walking around the creek, and we were actually coming out of the woods here, and we were set up hunting right here. One dove flew over. My wife Kim wasn't gonna shoot with us there. Safety first, you know, but it would have just been one dove. So it really wouldn't been worth it. We'd have had two bacon wrapped dove breasts, and we'd been sharing it between 3 or 4 people, so wouldn't really been worth it anyways. But like I said, on the food plot, probably going to come back next week. You can look over here. There's still some green grasses and some that's dewberries that need to be killed, so we'll spray one more time. Probably should have brought the sprayer and sprayed today, that way it'd be ready for me next chance I get. But I was looking at the Farmer's Almanac. I think I was planning on spraying or seeding around September 20th at work when I was off, but also depending on weather. If we were going to get some rain, then I would have done it then. If we weren't getting any rain, I wouldn't have bothered, because then I'd just have seeds on the ground that get eaten by the birds. So didn't fill this feeder because we were going to dove hunt the field. But now that we dove hunted, we got our dove hunt out of the way. It was unsuccessful, and we're going to start planting the field, seeding the field, and the bucks are starting to shed their velvet and they're looking for carbs. So I'm going to load that thing up with some corn, load the other one up with some corn, and maybe just kind of hang out up here for an hour, a couple of hours, and enjoy being up here. we got the feeders filled up now, filled up with corn, switching off of protein. There's still a little protein and corn mix in the very bottom, but as these deer start shedding their velvet, they're looking to harden up their horns, and they're looking for carbs, and corn's a good carb for them. Acorns are a good carb for them. If you have Milo or something like that, that's a good carb for them. So they're looking for minerals, and I've still got the mineral block down there, and they're looking for carbohydrates to help that horn harden up and get solid. And it's going to start putting on fat for the winter. So eating carbs, putting on fat, just like we do. We eat carbs, we put on fat. So the food plot was kind of a fill for the spring and summer food plot. It was a complete fill. I tried to save it by using the weeds that grew up naturally as dove, and weren't able to get any dove on there. But they may have been here earlier in the week, right after I cut it, and already ate it, and the storm may have pushed them out. So I did see, when we came back with the corn to fill, I did see a few dove flying around. So there's still a few in here, but it's not going to be like a lights out hunt. So, well, we're back here at the food plot. I wasn't able to get out here this week. We had a good like 4 days of rain up here, and I wanted to spray the field one more time before we seeded. It would have been perfect to get this food plot started, but we still got plenty of time. It's mid-September. Really, I'm looking at beginning of October as to be kind of the 45 days before the first frost, but I could do it now. They say 45 to 60 days before the first frost, so anytime this next couple of weeks would be fine. But I wasn't able to get out here to spray it, but my son and his buddies came out here. They were coming out here. I asked them to go ahead and spray it, and so they sprayed it, and it is dead. So you can see, I mean, there's nothing here, nothing left. Just a bunch of thatch. It's dead. We got something sprouting up over here, so there might be, sticker got me. Might be something here popping up. I'm not sure what that is. That's just like some native grasses. Oh, you know what? That's corn. That's corn that's spilt. So yeah, there's not a lot growing here, but my plan here today is the old brush pile. I looked at it the other day, and that wood that's in it is getting pretty punky, and so I think it's about time to kind of knock that over, smooth it out a little bit. Same with this pile over here. So I'm going to take the dozer and knock those down, and this tree that I wanted to save but end up dying on me, I'm going to knock that over, and then I'll probably, probably knock it down this way and push it up against the brush there, because there's a good trail. You probably can see it coming out here. I don't want to lay it down and push it up against their natural trail here. I'm gonna leave that open, so I'll push it down, push it up against there, and then later on I can cut that up into firewood and smooth that out. I want to move this. When they were here spraying, they moved this from over there to over here, but we both think it'd be better for archery to be a little closer. It's probably 50-60 yards. That's a little far, so probably put it closer to this area here, and that'll be kind of a nice, I don't know, So probably 25, 30 yards, maybe 35 at the most. And if we get it in here, that'll be good shot for a crossbow or bow. There's also another little entrance that they come out right behind there. So you got one over there on the other side of that tree, one here, and then of course they come down this draw back here into there, and then come from the hill, coming from the pipeline, coming down. So this is kind of be a good spot. We can push in here, cut all this out, leave a little brush in there, but cut a walkway in, take out this bush here, leave some of this underbrush here, kind of camouflage it in a little better, and then that'll be a good shot basically at the entire food plot here. So if they're way over there, that's one, it's going to be a little bit harder to see them cut through all this brush because it'll be pushed back up in there, but once they come out, should be able to see them feeding this way. Get a cross shot here. Shoot, you might have them walk right in front of you here because I see a lot of them in the pictures coming through on this side of the food plot. So anyways, that's what I'm doing. I'm going to get this set up somewhere. It's finally cooling off. I mean, it's middle of the day, probably 11:30, 12 o'clock right now, and it's probably about 90 degrees out in the sun, but in the shade it feels pretty good, and it's not terribly hot right now. I mean, even in the sun. But that's talking to a Texas boy that's been sitting through about 105, 110 degree temperatures this year. So let me get this camera set up somewhere so y'all can watch me work on the dozer. Don't make fun of me. My son's the dozer operator. I am not. So, but basically I'm gonna start pushing this and trying to smooth that hill out. Well, I don't know how much of that y'all caught, but basically this pile is kind of spread out over here, and knocked down, spread out into this lower spot. There's still some sticks and stuff, but looks a lot better than it did. I mean, especially out here, I kind of smoothed that out, graded it out a little bit. And then I didn't get it on camera, but I took that tree down. I was standing, having a hard time seeing the camera because it's so bright outside. Right about there, and pushed it over here. I did take the dozer and push a hole in the woods, and I'm about to move that blind over about, I don't know, 10 yards, 30 feet, 40 feet that way. There's a little hole. I don't know if you can see where that grass is sticking out there. There's a hole there, so I'm gonna take it and move it over, and then get some corn on the ground. Go ahead and get it baited up for this evening. I'm gonna sit in that blind, move that blind over here and sit in it, and wait for a hog. I've had a big boar hog that's been terrorizing my deer herd, keeping them away. So he's got some big cutters on him, and he's a big bully. So I'm gonna try to take care of him tonight. And there's that hole. So move that over a little bit. That'll be close enough for bow season. And I'll sit in it tonight and see if I can't get that pig. Well, as you can see, I got a little rain, and I'm in the truck headed to the property. It was raining a little bit harder just a minute ago. I didn't want to record in that bad of rain, but keeping my eyes on the road and trying to drive safe. But I'm headed up to the property. It rained all night last night, or most of the morning, early morning hours. I got a little break, looks like, up there at the property, and this is going to be an opportune time for some a chance to plant the food plot. I've got a good wet soil up there, according to the radar, and got more rain coming. Also got my buddy at his property. They're putting in a generator shed, so after I get at their property, and it's not far from mine. Y'all probably, if y'all been following along, y'all saw my friends that came over to help me with the brush piles, digging out the limbs and getting them ready to burn with his little mini excavator. And like I said in that video, we just kind of help each other out. So I'm gonna go up here, put some seed out on the ground, let it get rained on overnight. Hopefully it sprouts up good, and that will, I'm hoping, there's not a whole lot of rain in the forecast for the next upcoming weeks, but that's subject to change all the time. So hopefully it sprouts and it holds moisture, and it'll stay. Hopefully it doesn't get too dried out after it sprouts. And then, but I've got 2 bags of seed, and last year in the fall I put 1 bag of seed, and it came up good. Had a good food plot last fall and winter, but it was a little thin. Like if you've been following along on the food plot series over the past year, you saw this spring when I terminated that food plot that it was a little thinner than I'd like. So I'm gonna kind of overseed this year, or probably, I say overseed, probably use the right amount of seed this go around, because I am spreading it with a shoulder. Last year, did I use shoulders? I don't remember what I did last. Oh, I used one of those little Scott's spreaders for the lawn that you push behind. Had trouble with it, getting caught up on tree, little tree limbs, root stops, stuff like that. Now all those are pretty much gone, and the food plot's a little smoother. But I did buy a shoulder spreader that you hang over your shoulder, and that's what I seeded the spring food plot with. That didn't do real well, but hopefully with this rain, it'll get down and have a chance to get knocked down into the dirt with the rain pushing it, kind of bury it, and hopefully have a good fall food plot again this year. Had a lot of turnips and radishes, and then in the spring had the winter oats and stuff come up. So that's what I'm hoping for this year. And this morning I was trying to get some video off of my phone and put it on my external disk, and I really not too tech savvy. I got enough to try to get me through, but evidently it wasn't enough this morning, and I think I wiped everything off of my external drive. All the videos that I've posted, the videos I had saved ready to post, or all the footage that I had ready to make video. I was planning on posting one this week of a little fishing trip vacation that we did, a little micro fishing 1v1 challenge with me and my daughter, and I think that footage is gone, sadly. I'm learning this whole YouTube thing, this video, this editing. I'm learning all this as I go, and it was a mess up. So hopefully I can recover it somehow. I don't know where it went, so it's not on my phone. It's that I've found. It's not on the computer that I could see. I don't know where it is, but I had to get out of town and try to make it up there to get this seeded in. I'm pretty sad about that. And plus I had some other footage that I was going to include on this saving the food plot deal, where we did a dove hunt. Wasn't very successful that morning that we went. Doves started flying later, and so I don't know, but we'll pick up here, I guess, and get some footage of me seeding, and later on we'll hopefully get some footage of a good fall and winter food plot. So I've got to pay attention to the road. The rain's picking up again, so we'll pick up at the farm. Okay, well, back here at the food plot. Made it to the farm here. Sun shining, but the soil does have some moisture. We did get some rain, so it looks like we're in a pretty good break here. I'm going to double check the weather. I think we've got enough moisture on the ground to go ahead and do that, but I'm going to check the weather, make sure that we're still planning on getting rain tonight. It said it was last time I was there. I hate to make the trip up here and not do it, but if there's no rain in the forecast, I might not be. But you can see behind me here, it's got the green cover food plot. I'll grab a bag and read to you what's in the fall release. Okay, so we got smart radish, purple top turnip, Elbon cereal rye, Hayden spring oats, Cossack black oats, Gunner Triticle, I don't know what that is, Keystone winter peas, spring forage peas, Kentucky Pride crimson clover, fixation Balanza clover, Valady Berseem clover, and Mankin buckwheat. So it's mostly, let's see, looks like it's going to be mostly the triticale, whatever that is, and some black oats, spring oats, and the peas is going to be what makes up most of it. But there's probably, let's see, 5, 6, 7, 8% clover. The radish and turnips is going to be about probably close to 4% of it, and then you got but a lot of it's going to be your oats and rye and peas. So anyways, let me double check the weather, make sure it's good, and then we'll get to seeding before the rain comes back. Stay tuned. I think these seeds came pre-inoculated, but I want to check. Last time they had a little package of inoculant. Yeah, they must be pre-inoculated, so we'll go ahead and pour some in here and start spreading. Gotta remember how I wore this thing last time. I think that'd be good. I need to bring it up a little bit. Maybe just around the neck. I don't think that's how I wore it. I think I found a more comfortable way. Maybe like this. There we go. So if you want a breakdown of what the green cover fall release is, pause it right now. Take a look at that. It gives instructions. It says should be drilled, but it said if you don't have a drill, basically if broadcasting, spread seed lightly to incorporate just before rain into clean seed bed. Inoculant best by 10/22. Okay, so it is pre-inoculated, and so it was pre-inoculated and it was good until 10/22. So I want to just show you. We'll look at some of these more bare spots and see how much seed. I mean, I'll get into, you can see the seed all over. This is a good seed bed. It's just bare dirt, but this over here is got some thatch from the previous food plot, but it's been terminated. And so let's see, like this here, let me see. So let me find it in the camera. You can see some winter peas have already, or cow peas or whatever it is, has already made it down to the seedbed. But right here, that is sitting up on top of this thatch here, and when it rains it should get knocked down to the soil like that, and then this will act as a mulch layer. I did check the weather, and I don't know if I said that. Did check the weather, and it's supposed to be raining from about 5 p.m. to midnight, so that's 7 hours of rain. Should be good to be able to knock this stuff down, knock the seeds down into the soil, and maybe cover it up a little bit. This is where I removed a tree. That dead tree was standing right here, and I knocked it over and pushed it up over there. But so this ground is a little more bare, and you can see all the seed. I don't know, let me see, some of it you won't be, okay, right here, I don't know if you can see that, but that's like a, and here you can see that seed. It's going to be hard to see because it's so small, but you've got all this bigger stuff here, the cow peas or whatever that is there, and oats and cereal rye and all that. Those are easy to see, but there's a lot more seed here. If you can see that, there's one there, and I think one's a turnip and one's a radish. But so yeah, there should be, we got plenty of seed on the ground. As long as we get some rain tonight and birds don't eat it all, this should be a beautiful food plot. I'm going to wait until it sprouts up, gets about 2 or 3 inches tall, then I'll come back and fertilize. And I got that sprayer, I got that sprayer for the tractor, and I think what I'll do is sorry, picking up sticks and throwing them. I think I'll do a liquid fertilizer now that I got that sprayer versus the pelletized fertilizers. So anyways, this is the food plot to be. Got the feeder going there, and yeah, stay tuned and keep coming back and watching videos for updates on the food plot. And so if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, what are you waiting on? Please subscribe, like it, ring the notification bell so you stay up to date on when I do give updates on things like projects I have going on, like food plots that take a while to grow because they're plants, and it's like a kid, and you nurture them and they grow, and it takes time. But I think that's going to be it for this one. Y'all have a good one, and God bless.